and welcome to the Definitely About podcast. My name. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, no, sorry. I just was speaking. I didn't realize we were on.
No. I just hit go. Hello and welcome to the Definitely About podcast. My name's Sean, and joining me today is the one and only Antetokounmpo man. How are we? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You look like you don't have full faith in yourself.
I forgot the words for a second.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's so many blokes revolving through here.
God,
so few of them are me, but today it is me.
About 1/5 to 1/4.
Yeah.
Is there an easier way to say 1/4?
A quarter. Yeah, which we were just talking about actually. You said Q2 to me literally less than 120 seconds ago.
Q2 is the Sean Q.
The Sean Q. Yeah.
Welcome back. Happy New Year.
HNY.
Yeah. Man, it's so good just starting every email at work with, I hope you had a great New Year and an even better break.
Yeah. I got one. I had a really lovely one from my colleague Laura Redacted. And she said to me, I hope you had a restful break with your family. And I, it's lovely. Like, she's a really nice person, but I kind of am a bit rankled by that because, like in my emails, I'm trying not to assume what kind of break the other person has had or has wanted to have. And I have a few issues with Laura's kind of supposition. Number one, what if I don't have a family? Or if I'm on terrible terms with my family? Why would I be spending my break with them? What if I'm a transplant from interstate? Or what if my family all live overseas? It's a very presumptive. Yeah. And then restful, like, do I need my break to be restful?
I've found, because I've sent off tens of emails since I've been back.
I believe it. No one sends off more emails than you.
I actually think that might be the case, but I'm getting a good cross section of the middle-aged working community with their responses, and a lot of them say, "Oh, it was great. I rested so much. I was at the beach for whatever. Like I called this guy and I was like, what'd you do? Redacted name." And he said, "Oh, mate, have you heard of it's like Harvey Bay or something? Was that in WA? Sure. Or maybe it's in Queensland." But he goes, "Yeah, my parents live up there. Have you heard of the beach?" I'm like, no. And he goes, "Oh, it's practically a retirement village, right? It's like Florida, but in Australia." I was like, "Oh, yeah." And he goes, "But they still serve beer." I was like, "Oh, yeah." So he goes, "Mate, I just had no muck around and then just had a few quiet beers and then went to bed for bloody 2 weeks." I was like, "Whoa."
Man, that does sound awesome.
It does sound awesome, but
good.
in my emails, I found that everyone's pining for a restful holiday.
Yeah.
Whereas people our age are pining for coming out exhausted and just like the first week back at work hurts.
Well,
but
let's,
it's awesome.
Let's have a bit of balance in here.
All balance.
and like I did plenty of resting, but the admin required to be able to truly rest is itself an exertion. Throw in a couple of all-night parties, and then there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. And then also, just the opportunity to rest just fizzles as soon as a couple of friends message you and say, "Do you want to do X, Y, Z tomorrow?" And you're like, "Oh, true. Yeah, I'm not working."
It's actually 29 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit at home. So first podcast 2026. Happy New Year. I saw Nick Kyrgios last night.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I went...
Nick Kyrgios,
you might know him as a basketball fan.
Yeah.
Because I saw him yesterday, I've done a bit of a deep dive on his Instagram in the past, just this morning.
Better you than me.
He loves basketball.
Yeah.
I saw him at have you been to, it's called like Max and Mara or something in the city? It's like near Collins Street, right? Like all those bars where every drink starts with a 2, maybe a 3.
Yeah.
And that's just the 2-digit drinks. So it's really, really swanky. We're like, Cheska and I were at a show, and then we're like, "Oh, let's go get a couple of cocktails before we go home." Went to one cocktail bar. It's fine. And Cheska's like, "I really wanted to check out this like Art Deco inspired one." It was sort of like an old speakeasy, but imagine if it was a speakeasy for like the richest of the rich, right? And you go up these winding staircases, really, really swank. And then the lady goes, "Oh, where do you want to sit?" And I was like, "Oh, whatever, man. Like, I don't mind." She goes, "Oh, just take a spot." So I take a spot and I sit down and then I look up and I just immediately clock, holy shit, that's Nick Kyrgios over there. Just risen these 2 birds. Like, I've never seen someone try harder. and yeah, he was just putting back cocktails. And I was trying to talk to my lovely partner, but I was also trying to listen to every single word he said. And it was just hardcore Riz. Like, it was just...
What were some of the words he was saying?
Some of the words he was saying were... like, there was a lull in his conversation, and he was like, so do you ladies have a favourite tennis player? And, like, one of them was like, oh, not really. Like, obviously he's here for the Australian Open. One of them was like...
Is he playing?
Yeah.
He's still doing that?
Yeah, he's still doing that.
He's in the Australian Open.
I don't know, but he was in the Oz Open's doing this 1 point slam at the moment.
Yeah, the 1PS.
Yeah, I saw an explainer video on what it meant, and I didn't click on it.
I've seen enough Instagram highlights.
He's in that.
I understand what it is.
But like, so was like Carlos Sainz. Who's the Spanish guy?
Alcaraz.
Yeah. He's also in it. So the name 1 point slam sounds like it's a bit crap, but all the best players are in it. So
he's not playing singles.
In the Open.
Yeah, but hopes to compete at Wimbledon this year for the first time since finishing runner-up to Novak Djokovic in 2022. God, he's so fucking washed, man.
Well, yeah, serious.
But
anyway, so he's at this really nice restaurant. Like, you know, Cheska and I had our shit on. Like, we're fucking going out to a show.
I bet you had your shit on.
Bro, I had my shit on. But he was wearing sort of like a faded, like intentionally faded, like those shirts that it's like just meant to look vintage. A faded shirt of Jason Tatum holding his hands on his head, looking up as soon as he won an NBA championship, and then just like some tennis shorts.
God, that's awful.
And like an Oakland A's cap on backwards.
Tennis shorts.
Yeah.
At Maximara.
Yeah.
What were his female companions wearing?
Cocktail dresses.
Yeah. Did you get the sense that they knew each other from before, or are we thinking that this is potentially like an apps kind of situation?
Man, I don't know, but
surely he's from Melbourne / lives in Melbourne for like his.
Well, that was another thing he said. He had said, and I quote, "Oh, I lived in Bundoora for a couple of years," like, and yeah, I'm going to paraphrase his next bit, but he pretty much said beautiful part of the world. Like, he talked about the food and the culture and how good it is being in...
the culture?
And then one of the chicks was like, oh, but it's just too cold in Melbourne. And he goes, nah, like, you just got to rug up while you're here. And you just sort of like, it's so worth it. Once you get over the weather, like, it's actually a beautiful city. And then I think he mentioned he was in Mill Park for a bit as well, which is like, man, you've lost me on Bundoora.
Well, you fucking thought that Bundoora had beautiful wildlife and culture. Bro, the food in Mill Park, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He's from Canberra, and my Google AI assistant thinks that he lives there.
What does it know? Wow.
Actually, serious question though. And so another serious question.
Yeah.
Who left first? You and your your wife, or
he left
with two women?
He left with both women, but
for him.
As he was there, like, people would walk past, and I've never really been in this situation, but like, you see someone as famous as he is, right? I've actually never been in the situation, and in my head I was just like, God, like, don't stare at him, don't like go up and take a photo. I would just feel horrible if that was me.
Yeah.
Right? If someone sees me and goes, oh my God, that's Sean Carroll from the Deep GMBO podcast, I wouldn't want cunts to film me. I want them to be like, hey, or just like, don't talk to me. But like, I've also never been in that situation. So
I've been in that situation
from the Deep too.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, what was it like?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I think I then said to the guy, oh, Sean's here as well.
Oh, yeah.
I said to the guy, Sean's here as well somewhere. Where is he? There he is.
So, well, yeah, guys were just walking past, and there was this one lady that walked past, and she was that middle-aged woman. She was like, we're here for the tennis, and who should we see but you right here? And he goes, oh, yeah. She goes, oh, keep it up. And he goes, oh, thanks. Goes back to rizzing, right?
And he's got his arms around.
It was like a small sort of square table. They were sitting. They weren't touching.
So she approached him.
Yeah, she approached him.
Wow.
And then there was this group of, I described them as Saracos presenting blokes, like 4 blokes were walking out, and then one of them, Chesk, overheard him saying, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. And he went over and he was like, Nick, man, major respect, bro. Just like dapped him up, and he goes, you're the best, bro, keep it up. And Nick's like, oh, thanks, man, like mad respect to you. And he goes, nah, you're the best, man, like all the best. And it was just such a loud loud gesture, and everyone in the bar heard it, and it was just like, oh Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he left shortly after that.
Bloody hell.
And then I was like, did you see Nick Kyrgios? No, I took photos and I was like, hey, Jess, don't turn around. But
yeah, show me your cocktail and how beautiful you look right now. And don't look over your left shoulder.
I actually did that. I said, oh, Jess, do you want a photo? And I took the photo and then I sent it to her. I said, don't turn around, but zoom in on the back of the photo. And she's like, oh my God, take another one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty cool. Who's the most famous person you've seen?
Well, I saw Max Rushton like a week ago.
I thought you were bullshitting when you messaged that.
You thought I was bullshitting?
Yeah.
It would be so random to message that out of the blue.
Yeah, and funny. But
I guess I'm just hashtag random like that sometimes.
I thought it was like a... I didn't know he was on that like Sam Vecini train. Like, where it's like bloke covers international sport, lives in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Is he from Melbourne? Or?
Sean, You listen
British.
to the podcast and he's got an English voice.
Yeah. But a few of our friends have English voices.
Yeah. But friend of the program, Joe Mama with the English voice. Like he's not from.
Okay.
No, he's from there.
Yeah.
But his wife, the world famous Mrs. Rushton, she's Australian.
Yeah.
So he has been living here for the past 3 or 4 years.
Actual SVS.
Yeah, seriously.
That's Sam Vecini Sish, unacquainted.
I don't think he's as fully like Sam Vecini is like I believe a citizen now.
Yeah.
Go home, we're full. When Sam Vecini is becoming a citizen. But I was walking with Mel.
Yeah.
On St George's Road, and he was walking with Mrs. Rushton.
Bro, top three person who wouldn't appreciate seeing Max Rushton, and she's not 2 or 3.
Yeah. But then she was like, who? She just said to me like, oh, who is that?
Yeah.
And I just did a little explainer, but then we got distracted because we walked past an Ocean Spray poster set, which friend of the program Dave is the producer for that creative IP, and so then we got distracted and took a photo of me posing with the Ocean Spray lady who was really enjoying her cranberry juice. But I just said to her, I think I played it really cool. Max, he looked at me. And I looked at him. I was like, that's fucking Max Rushton. And we got a little bit closer and I just said, Hooroo, Max. And then he just turned to me and said, G'day, mate, how are ya?
Wow.
In an accent that sounded slightly more
English than that.
Yeah, slightly more like his actual voice than that.
Fuck.
And then that was it.
Wow.
I just did a little chuckle and we continued our separate ways.
Fucking hell.
Light touch.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Also, with podcasters, like, you obviously know all of his in-jokes.
Yeah,
like if we see a fan, they're just going to give us an acronym.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you do to Nick Kyrgios? Like, I love your forehand, or like, you know, I also love chicks, bro, and basketball. Like, there's no light touch there. You just got a big respect.
Well, I mean, like, you know, he's communicating with the Saracos presenting guy, the PPG. He's communicating with him on a level that he probably understands and appreciates.
Yeah. All right, well, talking about PPG, basketball has PPGs. This is a pretty. It's like we've been pining for days like this.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I mean, just like...
I don't pine.
We've been pining for days...
I desire and then I get.
We've been pining for days like this in the trade market for maybe the whole time.
Nah, that's cat. That's... Again, speak for yourself. What are you pining for?
I'm just like the LaMelo Ball like low key trade request, right? Where it's like, okay, this has been coming for years, maybe. Trae Young, will it, won't it? It's been a couple of years. Morant, obviously, he had a quote a couple of years ago where he said that when they put me on leave, I just didn't want to be in Memphis anymore or whatever. It's sort of all happening at once. And as these big trades that have sort of floated off in the ether for a long time, sorry, as the that is not a clear throat. As it's all been happening, it's all happened at once, and it's also come at the absolute. Is nadir the bottom or the top?
Nadir is the bottom.
Yeah, it's at the absolute nadir of small point guards value.
Yeah.
Or the highest of CJ McCollum's, which I still think that joke's got legs. And it's all happening, and they're all available, and they all might get traded, as well as Anthony Davis. We'll talk about that. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, who just thumbs down, booed his own team's crowd. But what are your thoughts on the whole fucking field of NBA trades at the moment?
Well, I think when I understand where you're coming from when you say we've been pining, but I think we were pining for maybe like a Trey or a LaMelo or a Jar move that felt consequential. And these don't feel
true.
Like they're so denuded of not only their value around the league, but also their impact on the court for a variety of reasons, like whether it's injury or whether it's form or whether it's play style or whatever, team competitiveness. Like, it's not, when you think of like multi-time all-star point guards being traded, it's not that exciting. Like, what we just saw Trey get moved for is not like what we just saw Trey get moved for. The possibility of him sitting out the rest of this season, and then the seeming reticence of the Washington Wizards to give him an extension. Like, those are not features of like the kind of classic like all-star trade where it's like you want to get them on the court as soon as possible. Your team is going to be much better with them, like guaranteed. And then if they're coming out for an extension, you're extending them.
Yeah, it's like no question.
They're traded. They're traded to you precisely because you're one of the teams that's willing to give them the extension. That's like pre-negotiated.
Yeah.
And then you give them the extension.
Yeah. Okay. So and the question is it 4 years or 5 years max? Like,
yeah. And like, not necessarily even to say like Trey has an option for next year at 50 million or 48 million to opt in. So he will opt into that, and they will have the ability to extend him from this off season once he opts in. But usually you see the reporting coming out. They've discussed 4-year max or whatever it is, and so that it's a fait accompli, basically, that this team is relying on this player as a key foundational building block. But it's actually not the case with the trade, and I think that Ja and LaMelo have proven that you can't really rely on them as a foundational building block.
Otherwise, their teams would just be better, and they would have been.
The teams that have, exactly. The teams that have them have relied on them as foundational building blocks. And aside from 18 months of really awesome Grizzlies basketball, over the last 5 years, like, that bet has roundly proven to be a poor one. So the teams that might be kind of best suited to benefit from these situations are teams that already have like a pretty like rigid set hierarchy but a need at lead guard. And those teams, like, don't tend to be the teams that have like success built in and that are challenging for the playoffs and that are ready to go and compete right now. You tend to have your lead guard kind of sorted out. In order to get to that point.
Yeah, if you've built like after a rebuild, you probably do have your point. That's true, but apart from popping that balloon, let's talk about Ja Morant and let's talk about what his trade might be.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time that Memphis, in the report on January 9th from Shams Charania, it's the first time that Memphis are open to trading Ja Morant. They've always denied the trades. I don't often listen to, who's that Memphis guy that used to do pods with KOC?
Vernon.
Yeah, I don't often listen to him, but in the past, in the few times I have in the past couple of months, he's like, we're not trading Ja. The front office has come out and said, we're not trading Ja. But now they're trading Ja, and it seems like it's definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of where. And then probably a sign about what you were saying, the fact that as soon as Ja's available, the biggest follow-up report is, is Jaren Jackson available? Because he's really good at basketball.
Yeah.
And if you're blowing it up, would love that really good basketball player who's still on the team. Some of the candidates are the Toronto Raptors, the Miami Heat, one more?
Mini,
and Milwaukee, which is a horrible fit, but Milwaukee's also in there. Who do you want to talk about first, or where do you want to go from here? Like, what's tickling your fans?
Well, I think the two most compelling are probably the Raptors and Minnesota. And
Compelling as in they'll be better at basketball?
yeah, like you can kind of make a case that this is an interesting move. I kind of think that the Heat are less able to put like a competitive package together unless they want to put Hero in the deal. And then it becomes a question of what kind of return is Memphis looking for, which is intrinsically tied to the Triple J question because, you know, if they are going to, you know, listen to offers for Triple J, then I'm sure they don't want to take Hero back from Miami in exchange for Jar.
Because you make him too good.
The trade with Toronto would be centered around Emmanuel Quickly's money.
Yeah.
It would be Quickly and then some back of the roster salary ballast.
Yeah.
Plus maybe a pick or something.
Like a prospect like Grady Dick. You could see him being in the deal.
Well, they'd be happy to get off his money, I'm sure, because he's essentially not playing for them.
Yeah.
Which is nuts because he full averaged 20 points a game last year.
Did he?
Yeah. Go.
Sorry, let me get that. Go Jamie.
Go get that up.
14.
Yeah, the gentleman's 20. The gentleman's 20.
14 in 30 minutes.
But look at his. You know, his minutes of half.
Yeah.
He started every game he played last year, and he's yet to start a game this year. It would be Quickly's money, and that would be Quickly's contract. I think has 3 more years left to go at like 35 a pop. So Jars is more expensive, but closer to 50. But also, I think he expires. Jar has 2 years to run, so Quickly's runs longer.
Yep.
And then I guess the trade for Mini.
The Mini shit's crazy. It has to be. You have to include Naz Reid.
All Randall.
Yeah, but even with Randall, it's if you're assuming Jaden McDaniels and obviously Anthony Edwards are untouchable, it's like you're pretty much always parting with 2 of like their good rotation players, and they don't have many, right?
No, they don't.
And it's like you're not going to trade Rudy Gobert because like neither team wants that to be in the deal.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to give up 2 of Randall, DiVincenzo, and
Reid.
And it's like, well, fuck, man, who's your 6th best player at that point? The Wolves. There was a report that the Wolves. The interest is coming from Jar's camp rather than coming from the Wolves, and I think that's just sensible by Tim Connolly because it's like you would also have to include to make the money work probably Mike Conley, and then it's like, well, you don't even like to have your veteran backup point guard like Rob Dillingham and Bones Highland will be playing almost 30 minutes a night in that machination at power forward.
Yeah.
So let's just take Mini completely off the table. Are you happy to do that? Because I just think that's really unrealistic.
Yeah. I'm happy to do that. Let's talk about the Raptors.
Okay. The Raptors seem to have a lot of pressure from ownership to be good, and the Raptors have been involved in every big name trade so far. Like they were they were one of, let's just call it the final 2, because I don't think Anthony Davis is going to get traded in the Anthony Davis deal with the Hawks. There's a lot of Raptors buzz, and there was a report, I think it was from Mark Stein, that they're in win now mode, and it is like trade for a star or a better player at whatever cost to get them right now, right? Bring them in. And I don't know if that's what they should be doing. I personally don't think they should be doing that. I think they've got that communism offense where everyone just averages 12 points, and like they're in the East. Jamie, pull up where they are at the moment. I think they're comfortably in the top 6. They are 4th. Fuck, they're 7 games above 500. So like they're definitely in that Toronto, Philly, Orlando morass. But I don't think you should. I don't think they should fuck with that. Like, yeah, they've got some flawed players and they've got some flawed contracts, but I would rather have what they have right now than trade for Ja Morant. Do you agree? Or
No, I don't think that I agree, because of their kind of like 4 most highly paid ball handling players. Jakob Poeltl is in that mix contractually, I'm sure, but let's just set him aside.
Yeah.
Not at least because he never fucking plays anymore. So you've got Ingram, Barnes, Rowan Barrett, and Quickly. Like,
fuck, that's great.
But Ingram has had a good, like a really good season. But he's Brandon Ingram, and it's important to acknowledge that he is still the exact same player that he was in New Orleans, and it's an open question. And I think at this point, I think at least you and I are prepared to say that we probably know the answer about like the overall value of that player archetype. You know, the dominant mid-range scorer who soaks up possessions but is not actually like an elite version of that, has less value than a dominant version of some other player archetype. Rowan Barrett is oscillating between a 6-man role and a starting role.
Yeah, he's been good this year.
But I think you can. I think if you're sending out salary, like you can live with that. And then Quickly has just not been as good as I think they had hoped. Barnes obviously is coming into his prime and he's awesome. But if you could condense 2 of those 3, send out the money and clear up your books like a little bit. I believe they have pretty uncluttered pick optionality. And then they've got a couple of random younger guys like, you know, Agbaji and Dick to make the numbers work and just kind of, at least in theory, throw in.
The thing
that I worry about is that from one perspective with Jar specifically, I think having some real on-ball dynamism from the point guard position more than what Quickly gives him. Quickly is like, he's a smart player, he's a good shooter, but like that's kind of about it on the offensive end. Where
he's so inconsistent.
Much more dynamic.
Yeah.
The only thing is if you are sending out Quickly in a Jar trade and then using role player salary, Jar is just about the worst point guard I can possibly think to share the court with the guys that are left.
Yeah, well,
because Ingram, Barnes, and Barrett all need the ball, and Jar can't shoot.
Yeah, and then if Jakob Poeltl's healthy, he's playing basketball.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah.
So that's about as bad a fit as I can possibly imagine, and then throw in like Colin Murray-Boyles, who's their first-round rookie, who's playing well, and they seem to really like. He can't shoot either. So you have your top 6 guys all either can't shoot or need the ball in their hands, and that is not a recipe for success.
Yeah, and you don't trust this version of Ja Morant to figure it out. Like a guy who people are talking about this Ja Morant trade as a buy low.
Yeah,
but the thing with buy low is that it could be wrong. Like this could be. It could just be downhill from here.
Fully, and you have to send out the Raptors have to send out Quickly for the matching money, because if you sent out Barrett instead, all of a sudden Quickly just becomes the most redundant player in the whole league. Now he's backing up Jar. They can't play together because 2 guards that are that small and that bad defensively, you're just going to get roasted. Yeah. So it has to be Quickly, which means you're left with all of the big wings who need the ball. Like it's just not. It
would be extremely stupid if the Raptors are like, hey, we have to trade for a star. Just keep the powder dry and wait until a better fitting star comes available. Yeah. Like honestly, I would almost prefer Anthony Davis. Just if you're not going to give up any future picks, and it's like give up one of your big salaries or 1.5 of your big salaries.
Man, if the Raptors want to go star hunting, like.
Yeah.
Why not Giannis?
Yeah. And
2 of those guys take Quickly and Ingram, and then throw in Murray-Boyles and like 3 first-round picks, and like surely that opens the door to the conversation.
Yeah. I also think Rowan Barrett would be. I've really liked how well he's played this year. Like he is like, we make fun of him.
That's the difference between you and me.
I know, but we make fun of him. But this year he's shooting almost 50% from the floor.
Fuck, man.
And like 35 from 3. This year's small sample size has been a great year. But let's move on to the Miami Heat. Obviously, the Heat culture stuff is the main draw card here. There have apparently been reported conversations about a deal here, and I, in theory, like it as much as people mocking like DeMarcus Cousins to go to the Spurs when Popovich was there, and being like, he's just going to fix him, right? He's going to get this like dude who just doesn't know what to do. But and also, sorry, John Morant, I don't know if you got the Bleacher Report notification, so that he bought a house in Miami in December.
Bro, I did fucking get that.
But also, like, obviously, that's just what's the word? It might not be bullfuck, but just like aggregating. Like maybe, maybe John Morant bought 10 houses in December, and one of them happens to be
not suggesting that the report itself is bullfuck. Or the fact that Bleacher Report is sending me a notification.
Yeah. But also, Noah LaRoche is an assistant coach for the Miami Heat, and he invented the Noah LaRoche offense, which is what John Morant hated as an out-of-form basketball player last year, and pushed his own head coach out to get rid of Noah LaRoche, so he can do more ball pick and rolls.
And famously, the Heat are now running like
and doing
one of the fewest rates of pick and roll in the league.
So I just that just immediately makes me think like he isn't going to want to go there.
I just think there's no offer for Memphis to consider, because there's the money that, like, you're not getting, that Norm Powell is expiring. Will probably re-sign. You're not getting Bam, obviously. That's completely off the table.
You're not getting Wiggins.
So that leaves Hero, and that's just such a straddling the line.
Did you see my other deal that I put in there?
What did you put in there?
Rozier, Fontecchio, and one of the young guys, whether that's Jovic or Kasparas Jakubonis.
Yeah.
And like, if we're going off this meta of CJ McCollum plus Kispert gets it done, like that would get it done.
That would get it. I mean, Jakubonis has looked good.
Whatever, right? Like 20-year-old
Lithuanian guy. You know, like
fucking Lithuania strays. But it's like, that would be your prospect, which is like, you might not actually get a first round pick or a prospect in any other deal.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier, I wonder if he's allowed to be traded, because if he is proven guilty for, what was it, like gambling on his own games, his money just comes off the books like tomorrow, right? Yeah. As opposed to, because he is an expiring contract.
If he's banned for life.
Because
what's his?
It's like 22. Yeah. It's 26.
But is he expiring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so surely that makes it more likely that he is able to get traded.
Yeah. If he had a couple of years left, then that might be like one of the most valuable. Assets
then
in the
again,
league,
like,
right?
is it actually just more, if the Heat know that he's going to get banned, is it actually more valuable for them to just hold on to him as a $22 million expiring so they can clear up?
26. No, I think the value of having the expiring that's going to get cleared up in March is that you can trade him and say, hey, Memphis, like, watch out, man. Like, this is going to be off your books.
No, the value is that one of the teams that's involved is going to get to clear that money off the books.
Yeah.
So I don't know off the top of my head the Heat cap situation, but it's possible that they might just be like, that's going to get us out of the second apron.
No, but if you're trading for Ja Morant, you can't worry about tax.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you might decide that
it's better if you just
out
save
of the second
money.
apron for the team that you currently have, and then having a bit more optionality is actually more valuable than parlaying that into Ja and then going over the second apron, even though you have Ja. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I think in this world where they're the leaders of the clubhouse to trade for Ja Morant, they're not thinking about that.
No.
I think if they're like, hey, we're the first to have discussions with Memphis, I don't think they're worried about saving money. I think they're worried about getting Ja Morant on their team. So what do you think about that deal? I don't think.
It's yuck.
Like, so he's sharing a backcourt with Tyler Hero. Simone Fontecchio becomes like a great 3-and-D role player in Memphis, right?
I don't know. What happens with Norm Powell?
Yeah, well, is Norm Powell the guy getting pinched? Andrew Wiggins starts at the 4.
Norm Powell's averaging 25 a game. Norm Powell's having a better season this year than Tyler Hero was last year when Tyler Hero got made an All-Star.
And Ja Morant last year. Yeah. I'd fucking love for Norm Powell to be an All-Star this year.
Well, he might. He's in the Eastern Conference.
It is on that CJ McCollum plus Corey Kispert train,
it is,
right?
and that's why it's so, like, not demoralizing, but it's like, oh fuck, like, you know,
this is what it takes.
How many column inches have been written about these guys in the last 5 years as like the future of the
Ja Morant,
the game of basketball?
Yeah.
Future stars, and then like this is kind of where we are.
Yeah. What else is there?
Should we talk about LaMelo?
Yeah, well, let's just say for a second the Bucks would be a horrible fit.
For Ja.
For Ja.
Yeah, absolutely terrible.
And who I did the trade on 2K before I came here. It was Kuzma, Bobby Portis, and Kevin Porter Jr. So Kevin Porter Jr. is like the asset going back. And then they can give like a 2032 swap or something.
That's again though like a Minnesota trade where it's like, well, who's left?
Yeah, it's like how many AJ Greens do you have? All right, let's talk about LaMelo. It's been very quiet. It's been very quiet. LaMelo Ball got demoted to the bench. He's now in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. There was a thing where he was like yelling, "This dude's got no effing idea." And it was like directed at Charles Lee after he'd scored like another 20-point game off the bench. But then with shit like that, like remember the Kobe when he like pump faked someone pump faked the ball in front of Kobe. It was like Ron Artest. Yeah, Matt Barnes. But then someone actually released a separate camera angle and Kobe was like half a meter to the right. And it's like, imagine you're here. He sort of pump fakes, whereas not actually in Kobe's face, so it doesn't actually go as hard. So maybe it's like that, where it's like he's not actually yelling.
Is that canon?
Yeah. Kobe no mindset.
Damn, I thought that was so hard when I was a child.
Bro, when I was 13, I watched that so many times. But
also, it's like it's so stupid because he's bringing you off the bench because he thinks you can be more effective off the bench.
Yeah.
You have a string of 20-point games off the bench, and it's like, well...
And you won a game.
Well, yeah.
But then they lost that game to Utah when they were down. Or was Utah down? Yeah, Utah was down. Oh, that was the Charlotte game. Oh my God, was Charlotte, we came off the bench and they were up by 70 on the Charlotte Hornets. Did you see Cody Williams had a negative 60 plus minus in that? Set a record.
Fucking hell.
He's not very good at basketball.
Nah.
His brother's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the LaMelo stuff's just a bit flat. Like, I think the team would be better if they bring in, let's just say, a CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert like deal, right? Maybe throw in a Yakachonis in this alternate universe, right? So you just get one sort of thing to look at. But like, yeah, if you just start Colin Sexton, you've got Con Knipple as a secondary ball handler, you've got Brandon Miller as a secondary ball handler, and they've actually just got competent front court players for the first time ever in Moussa Diabate and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Fucking, I would 100% do that. I don't think there's going to be a deal, otherwise there would have been a little bit more noise. And, sorry to butt in before you even talk, if you're a team like Toronto Raptors or the Miami Heat and you're in the discussions for some of these like former All-Star, former All-NBA guards, would you prefer to get LaMelo Ball over Ja Morant if the trade package is what it was looking like?
Yeah, I would.
So, and the fact that we haven't heard that, because Miami are probably thinking, fuck, this guy hates Noah LaRoche, and we're not going to fire him because he's doing wonders for everyone on our team. So why wouldn't they just go get LaMelo instead?
Well, I mean, LaMelo plays a very like pick and roll heavy kind of style as well.
At least it's not published.
I do think that he could like adjust and like he thrives in in kind of chaos scenarios as well. And the Heat love to just have a lot of drive and kick kind of basketball going on. But yeah, the thing with LaMelo is that, like, when he plays, like, he's clearly good at basketball, whether he's coming off the bench or not. Like, he's clearly a really good basketball player. Where the issue for him has been health, which is a major issue. But if you felt like you could kind of correct that, or that it would normalize over time, the issues with Trey and with Ja are like performance related. And I've hated all the commentary around Trey, where there's been lots of, and like not so much from like like the basketball media, but from like fucking yahoos on the internet. Trey's so underrated, like the guy averaged 23 and 10. Like, yeah, I fucking get it. I'm seeing the numbers, but they made one injury riddled run to the conference final, and they were so fucking mid with him as their best guy, and they have had really good. Like, there was some fucking graphic that got posted that was like, Trey took this team to the conference finals and you're calling him mid, and it was like prime Bogdan Bogdanovic, the best bench player in the league. John Collins, who was averaging 20 and 12. Clint Capella, who was like the 10th best starting center. And fucking, I don't know, someone else. And it's like, that was a good team. And also it's the Eastern Conference. Like, that team in in the Eastern Conference. Like guess what? That's the fourth best team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Trey was an important part of it, but he clearly has shown an inability to elevate his teammates and himself into consistent top 4, top 6 conversations in the East. And it's the fucking East. So all of this Trey is underrated stuff really rankled me because I'm not going to argue with anyone that he's not awesome at getting 23 and 11. But it's just that, that thing about how much are you actually able to make your teammates better. And if you say he's clearly making his teammates better on offense, then the question is well, how much is the detractor on that because of the fact that he's 6 foot, because of the fact that he doesn't try very hard, because of the fact that he's not very athletic. Okay, if you really are contributing 40 points a game with your points and assists and making your teammates better and getting them open shots, but then you'll
just win 50 games every couple of years. Once.
That's it.
So he's going to the right team, Trey, for not winning 50 games. But it's true. Just to add to that Atlanta point, they also had prime Kevin Huerter. Remember when they called him K-Von?
Yeah.
And he was having a Fred VanVleet post baby run.
Yeah.
And also they played against, they were the 4th best team in the East, and one of the teams above them had Ben Simmons, who just gave up as a basketball player in that series, right? So it is, they are cherry picking that.
Love that we just said the phrase prime Kevin Huerter.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you said prime Bogdan Bogdanovic.
No, but I mean, come on, Bogdan Bogdanovic is a better player.
Yeah, more accomplished as well once you factor in FIBA. I mean, we just sort of stopped talking about LaMelo, just started talking about Trey, and I think they're similar, but they're not. I'd much rather have LaMelo Ball, but it's definitely that Trey's gotten worse at basketball, and his weaknesses are on
It's
display.
also just damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you definitely would rather have LaMelo, and then he rolls his ankle in Game 7 and he's out for 2 months, and you're like, wait a second, if only there was a way we could have predicted this.
Yeah. He might just be stuck on the Hornets, and then he's eventually going to become a free agent, and they're just going to offer him a below market value, below max, and he's going to be like, I don't want that.
Well, he signed through 28, 29.
Fuck, that's so far away.
Yeah.
Also, new front office. The front office inherited that Max LaMelo. So if they're looking at Brandon Miller and Con Knipple as their lead ball handlers, plus just a Colin Sexton type for the next 5 years, they'd probably want to get off him. What would you do if you were them? Would you take, again, CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, or would you wait a year and see if he's because also, can I say, with the 65 game rule, some dudes, you know the thing where it's dudes are dying who have never died before. Remember in 2016, 2020, dudes are going to make All NBA that have never made All NBA before.
Yeah.
MPJ might be a shout if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
And then goes to a winning team and continues to play good basketball. The line is very thin for Nikola Jokic to potentially miss an All NBA if he has another injury once he returns. LaMelo might become All NBA, probably not, but this is on the cards. Whereas you might, with Ja and with Trey, their value is probably not going to get higher, right?
Yeah.
LaMelo might get higher. So what would you do if you're the front office?
I would hold on LaMelo because he signed for 3 more years and they're really bad with him on the court anyway. So it's not like he's single-handedly propelling you into the 40-win range and stopping you from getting a higher pick. They're fucking dog water, and they've always been dog water with him. So hold on to him for now. As long as you're convinced that having him on the team and being essentially non-competitive and still having enough on-ball opportunity for Knipple and Miller, who have shown that they deserve it, as long as you're convinced that situation is not toxic, then you're still bad. So hold on to him and explore what it might look like after he plays a full season, potentially.
I completely agree. If you were the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja came back and said, hey, I'm really sorry, I want to stay, would you keep him? Or would you trade for Simone Fontecchio and Terry Rozier?
I mean, that's so connected to the Triple J question. If I was committed to exploring the trade market for Triple J, I would trade Ja.
Yeah,
Definitely. Because I like Ja. Ja has all of the Trey and all of the LaMelo stuff going on where it's like culture fit, injuries, and like
is he ever going to be good again?
Form. It's like, well, if you're staying, clearly the expectation is for me to build my team around you, and I can't rely on you in any way. You've proven yourself to be completely universally unreliable. I don't see how you can keep someone like that.
Yeah. I agree. Should we wrap up by talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Let's talk about it.
So he's never going to request
What a loco guy. What a loco guy.
He's never going to request a trade. I hope you know that. He's never going to request a trade out of the city of Milwaukee, and he has 10 toes down. What are your thoughts on that saying?
I don't really understand it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it just means he's standing here. Yeah, that's true.
That viral rap song from yesteryear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I could see it. We have spent a lot of digital ink / digital.
It's like, wait a minute, get it how you get it. 10 toes down, and I'm sending home business summer.
So a couple of things came from that.
You know?
We spent a lot of digital airwaves time lambasting the Giannis Antetokounmpo scenario and his quest to become the next Damian Lillard. Where
he's
it's
doing
like
a great job.
Yeah, and he's just like he's going to have his own version of Toxic Joe Cronin, where he goes, "I wanted to be here, but fuck, it'd be better for everyone if he got traded 2 years ago."
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? Like, if you're the Bucks, you are fucked if you trade him, because you've got the wave and stretch with Damian Lillard, and you did that to get Miles Turner, who's averaging 12 points and doesn't look like he could be the second, third best player in a finals run. You've got a couple of good point guards who are in a bit of a slump after there was no scouting report out on them earlier in the year. None of your other players are particularly great. AJ Green's actually playing quite well. But he's AJ Green. He's no prime Kevin Huerter, right? But if you trade him, like you're not going to get a Trae Young haul. You're going to get probably some actual real stuff because you can start a bidding war.
Yeah.
But it's just you've just got this bullshit contest where the front office and Giannis are looking at each other, and there's no reason for either of them to request a trade. It has to come from Giannis, and he has said, "I will not request a trade." And meanwhile, he's getting booed in the city that he won a title for, which is this would never happen to Damian Lillard in Portland. So
I missed the kind of context. I saw like a headline today, like Giannis, like 2 thumbs down. Fan. Like, why was he being booed?
They were just down by heaps. And then the team's booing him because they're like, well, fuck, man, what are you doing? Like, yeah, you're averaging 25 points. But
I just wonder whether it's like a fundamental misunderstanding of the context for Giannis, and like not even in the context of the basketball team, but the context of his relationship with the fans, because I have to imagine that if he actually came out and requested a trade and said, I've loved it here, I've appreciated everything that the city's done for me, I've appreciated that the team has made a best effort to try and win. I loved winning a championship here as the highlight of my career. I want to win one more, and I know that I can do that better elsewhere. Surely the club and the fans are like, fuck, man, this is the best player we've had for legitimately 50 years. This is the best player we've had since fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's one of the 20 best basketball players of all time. Like, I'm so sad to see you leave, but go and good luck. And it's especially, it's easier to bid that player farewell when you know that you are going to get a fucking haul for him. And they're still in the haul window.
Yeah.
They will, it might not last into next season or the season beyond, but like, if they traded him now, he's 31 years old. If they traded him now, an absolute fucking haul, and they would have, we're talking about these fucking 2-time All-Star point guards. That's like, who even wants these guys? they would have 10 teams lining up ready to go. You know,
yeah, like the Warriors, like here's Jimmy Butler, a good young player.
Crazy that you said the Warriors first up. Like I'm gonna even just jump in and think bigger. Like teams with the biggest fucking pick holes in
the Warriors control all their picks.
Yeah,
and we can throw Quentin Post in there.
Thank you.
It'd be good to keep him because he'll be a great fit with Giannis. But yeah, it's like the Warriors would give five first round picks to get Giannis.
Yeah, well, the best first round pick in the league is on the table. Like, go and get New Orleans first round pick. Go and get the Clippers first round pick from Oklahoma City. Like, all of these teams will be in the conversation. And you if Giannis goes, you cop it. Like, Miles Turner becomes available. Canvas the league. Who wants Miles Turner for the remaining 3 years, $75 million on his contract? Someone will take it.
Yeah, maybe the Pacers.
Then you can. I mean, Kuzma's not worth more than a couple seconds, maybe. Like KPJ more. You can strip it down and build again.
KPJ you could get.
So I just think this whole Giannis, like, I'll never request a trade. Like, why not? Like, what do you think that says about you to request a trade that you like gave up, that you quit? Like, can't you yourself have acknowledged in all of your actions and all of your deeds for the last 18 months that this team isn't good enough. The writing is seriously on the wall. And if you want to, like, do the right thing, in inverted commas, and make it work, it's actually going to end up worse for you in terms of your reputation with the team and the city if you continue down this path and demand one more win-now trade that denudes them of all of their assets and future flexibility, and then you actually end up deciding this isn't working. Leave now before you've demanded that they empty all of their ammunition, and you truly do leave them in a situation where they actually have no recourse to getting something back for you.
You're going to hate this. It's kind of similar to the Warriors right now, right? Obviously, we won 4 titles, but like if the Warriors won 1, maybe 2 titles, and then we've got this 39-year-old Steph Curry who's just like, look, we are a middle of the road team. We've won a few games recently, and we're 22-19, but we're a middle of the road team, right? And it doesn't look like we're going to win a title, but we're going to get to the playoffs, and it's going to be like, fuck, can Steph average 50 points, and maybe we win a series, right? The Bucks are 5 games under 500 in the worst conference in the world. They're not winning. Their team's not good. And unlike the Warriors, like they've completely mortgaged their future to continually be good and good and good. And it was worth it. They won a title. But this is like riding off into the sunset with these guys where it's like, okay, the Warriors, we're going to make the play-in. We're low-key going under the radar as sort of like Bulls, Miami, West, but we've been in the play-in the most out of any Western Conference team. But just being there and just knocking on the door, and this is the sunset that we're riding off into. The sunset is so much more clouded for the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not worth it. And you only won 1 title. And I think Giannis is just very much in his head. As you mentioned, the last 18 months for him have just been him. He said something years ago, said, I want to retire here, or he said, I'm never going to request a trade. And he's just so stuck about not wanting to go back on his own word, when a lot of basketball players and front offices do go back on their word, and that's fine. It's sport, it's a business. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. And he's just dug himself such a big hole, and with every quote, he just keeps digging himself a bigger hole. And he can't enjoy getting booed by his own fans that he wants to retire here, a bit for himself, but probably for the fans, right? He doesn't want to be like, that crook Hakeem Olajuwon who went to Toronto for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, but draw the distinction there. Like, it's not for the fans, it's for himself, because it's his own imagination of how the fans perceive him.
But he doesn't
want to be perceived to have, like, being the one that left or whatever, and he wants to be perceived as being the one who stays. But, like, unfortunately, he's every offseason for the last 2, the last 2 offseasons, he's been agitating. He's been agitating. Like, he's agitated for coach change. He's advocated for teammate change. This past offseason, it was like everyone was saying Giannis is going to get traded because he did everything short of publicly request a trade.
It's
if I was if I was, Milwaukee, not being in that building and notwithstanding the human, elements of all of those relationships and those sort of things, I would sit down and say, like, look, we have one more shot that we could potentially fire to bring in someone. The player that we can bring in is not going to put us into championship contention. And without that player, we're so far below contention. We are going to explore the market for what we can get. And we want to work with you. Give us the list, give us your 5 teams, and we will trade you to one of those 5 teams. Because they wouldn't fucking, they wouldn't dump him in Siberia. They would. He's the greatest player that they've had, in literally forever. They will work with him to send him where he wants. That option is on the, and I just think that that's viewed as like a no-fault divorce kind of thing. Like, I have to imagine that although the fan base will be hurt, I'm going to use a Chelsea Football Club, corollary. Eden Hazard gave 7 of the best years of his career, which ended up unfortunately being much shorter than what it should have been, to Chelsea Football Club. And he won the 2018-19 Europa League final for Chelsea Football Club. He scored and assisted in the final against Arsenal, which we won 4-1. Take that, you fucking gooners. And then he announced that he was leaving for Real Madrid. And it's like, well, fuck, man. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and the best player that we've had for the last 10 years, like the best player in our post-glory era is leaving for a bigger club, and like that sucks. I would have loved to have watched him play for another 3 or 4 years, but like, it's your dream to go to Real Madrid. You've done so much for the club. We're getting fairly compensated. We sold him for 100 million euros. So you feel like you're not actually leaving the club in the lurch. You're getting fair value for your talents, and you're going on to have the experience that you want. No one begrudged him. Not one single fan begrudged him and said, what a traitor, he left us to go for Real Madrid. It was like, you have our blessing, go and kill it. He didn't. If they traded him to just hypothetically, they traded him to the Spurs and they got like Dylan Harper and another of the Spurs young players, and then 5 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps, or whatever. The Bucks fans aren't going to be like, this guy fucking left us, what a bum. They're going to be like, man, like, we can wish you well and let you go. And in 5 years when he retires, he can come back and live in Milwaukee, and he'll be.
He'll get courtside seats. Yeah, he'll get courtside seats forever.
He's already a legend of the city for the rest of his life. Staying now and risking descending into further toxicity and basketballing ineptitude, which they are. They're 5 games under 500, like you said. That's actually a much bigger risk to his legacy in the city, the way that I see it, than from his perspective, clearly.
Yeah. Wrap up. Who would you like to see traded for Giannis? Like, if you could just put him anywhere, like, obviously realistic, not the Suns, but where would you like to see him go?
I mean, just out of pure interest, it'd be difficult to pass up, obviously, this next to Wemby.
Yeah. That's
like, we've never seen anything like what that would look like.
Yeah, it'll be like Luke Cornett on steroids.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's an interesting way of describing it. But yeah. Giannis can do a little bit more defensively than Luke Cornett, but what about you? Don't say the Warriors.
I'd love to see him in the Warriors. I would love to see regular season Jimmy Butler off my basketball team.
Really?
Yeah, it's a real hard watch.
Bloody hell.
He just doesn't care. And then I know he's going to care a lot at the end, but fuck, man, we're a couple of games over 500 and D'Anthony Melton's our top scorer.
If only there was a way to have predicted Jimmy Butler's regular season basketball performance.
I would... I mean, like, Miami a couple of years ago, I would have loved to see that with him and Bam.
Yeah.
While, like, Kyle Lowry's still at a pulse.
Yeah. New York would be interesting. Like, put him in the cat spot and, like, see if he and Brunson pick and roll with shooter space around him can work.
Probably... God. What about Boston for Jason Tatum? And this Boston team, instead of being like, hey, we got to shed money, what if they're just like, hey, we're actually quite good. This dude's not coming back. That would be fun.
Yeah. I don't think they would trade.
Nah.
What about what would they trade Jaylen Brown?
What if it's it's Anthony Simons?
At the zenith of Jaylen Brown's value, trade him for Giannis, and then go Giannis Tatum.
There's another dude who might be the beneficiary of the 65-game rule.
What if they trade him to the Washington Wizards?
Fuck.
For Alex and picks.
And they absorb him into it.
And then the Wizards team is Trae Young throwing lobs to Giannis. It's like a Sean 2K thing from 3 years ago.
I don't really like using Giannis in 2K, but thanks for not remembering that. I don't know. Actually, it is the Warriors.
Yeah.
It is the Warriors. That would be sick. Draymond and Giannis?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Draymond, Giannis, Quentin Post.
So how come you said to me that I can't say the Suns?
Because you don't have enough picks.
Yeah.
Because we can give Brendan Przemski, we can send him back home.
I mean, you're completely delusional.
Would you? No, seriously. You're going to 37-year-old Steph Curry.
There's no way that you could put up a top 5 offer for Giannis. Absolutely no way.
Well, I think we can.
No, yeah, absolutely.
All of our picks.
Because none of your salary is appealing whatsoever.
No, it's not. But our picks are.
But there's other teams that have appealing salary and picks.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Maybe 4.
Nah, you can't get in there. I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm 100% serious.
Fuck, do you like Kuminga? Bro, oh my god, he's trade eligible in 6 hours. Holy shit.
Oh my god, hold on, let me show you the countdown I have on my phone.
I've dreamt of days like this.
Well, I wish you all the best with that, but yeah, you're certainly not getting in. I mean, clip this for social media and let's replay it at the trade deadline if this happens. But there's certainly no way that Giannis Antetokounmpo is ever playing for the team in yellow.
I will clip that. Fuck. Well, hey, we could wake up tomorrow and Malik Monk could play for the Golden State Warriors. How exciting is that?
God, what a world! It's things like this that help me get out of bed in the morning.
Dante, it's been lovely. I will speak to you next time.
Always a pleasure, Sean.
Peace.